How's it going? This is Gary McNulty for Software Systems 2 assignment demo. Software Systems Assignment 2 demo, sorry. So for this assignment, I'll be demoing, I have 3 clients, 2 clients that are in the sales group, 1 client that is not the sales group. So I'll show that the client that's not in the sales group cannot transfer a file into the sales folder. And then I'll show that the other 2, I'll show one of the other 2 can access the sales folder, and then the other 2 accessing the same folder simultaneously. And I believe that is the majority of the functionality for this. So for this I have the 3 separate clients because I haven't set up the command line argument to submit like the username and the user ID of the person you want. So I have just the username and ID stored in each client, and that gets passed to the server. So I'll show you how this works on the server side. So on the server side, we have a setup for the intranet and the sales. So this is the target text file that we're trying to write to in the sales folder. So nobody outside of the sales group should be able to access that folder. So if we go in here and look at the bottom, you can see Gary and Emma are part of the sales group. Marketing is Derek, products is Emily, and Gary is the intranet. And then on the left hand side here we can see these folders. This means that Derek should not be able to access the sales folder, but Gary and Emma should, and vice versa. Same for the rest of them. So Emily should be able to access products, but not marketing. So it's the same principle across them all. But I'll just demo the one folder for this demo. So if I come back to here now, and I'll run this one's in root, so this is the one the server will be on. So if I run the server, now its server's running, so it's just waiting for me to pass a client. So first we'll do client 2. So if I do /client 2, which is Derek. Derek is not in the sales group, so it should say that he does not have permission to open the file. That's exactly what happened. I probably should have pointed out before that here, this list.txt, this is the folder that we are trying to, or the text file that we're trying to write into, and this is the data that we're trying to send. So if it had have worked, this would have changed. This text file would have changed to this data has been sent. But because Derek does not have permission, this file hasn't been changed yet. So when we do Gary, for example, next, we should see that change, and I'll keep that open in the background so you can see it change in real time. So now if I do /client1, this should be Gary, and then as you can see at the top of the screen here, this data, the previous text has been overwritten with this new text, so the file transfer was successfully completed because Gary, who is in client 1, has permissions for that sales group, whereas previously Derek didn't, so it wasn't overwritten. And that's to show the group ID examples working. So if I go back to the server code here, we can see it's successfully completed. So it determined that it was Gary with user ID of 1001, and then he established that Gary was part of the sales group, and then it allowed Gary to make the transfer into the file. So next I will show the two clients accessing the files and accessing the file simultaneously. But before I say that, just here in the group IDs is when we're transferring Derek. Just this, for example, so the reason we have this is to change from root to Derek, because the server is being run in root. We need to change from root to Derek to access what permissions he has, and that's what this is here. So now that that's running, I'm going to do /client, and I'm just going to open up one more terminal window here. So I'll do /client1, and then I'll submit this, and then I'll do /client, and then on the server side, you'll see both of these will be working simultaneously. I'm sorry, I'm not scrolling to the bottom, sorry. So we see that Gary was up first, and it didn't crash. I submitted both of them simultaneously, and the server handled both of them simultaneously because they're both being ran on different threads. So we see the Gary one successfully completed, and then I done Emma straight after, and Emma successfully completed because they're both allowed to access that folder. or that file within that sales group. And that is all for the demo. I think I've hit everything. I didn't implement this desynchronization code that handles with the mutex locks, as I didn't have time to get around to it, but I think that covers the majority of what was looked for. Thank you very much.